the left's love of violence is I've repeatedly highlighted how dangerous it is. And of course, one of the problems in Congress is they're compromised too in terms of corruption. I mean, these lunatic leftists, 3 of them up in New Jersey, went to an ICE facility in Newark and engaged in essentially an assault on a federal public building that needed to be secure. And by assault, I mean quite literal, because now a member of Congress, Congressman MacIver, has been indicted by the Justice Department, Alina Habba, the acting U.S. attorney, up in New Jersey. And I'd like to think they followed our lead, because just prior to that indictment being announced, Judicial Watch had filed an ethics complaint against the members of Congress who were up there. And here's a video featuring MacIver, who's the woman in the red shirt, looks like assaulting federal law enforcement, number 18. Okay, there you see the mayor of Newark getting arrested. They dropped the charges for whatever reason against him. I'm not sure why. But they initiated charges against MacIver. And our ethics complaint focuses on her and her 2 colleagues up there who were, in our view, abusing their office in a way that was dangerous to the public safety and contrary to the rules of Congress. So we filed the ethics complaint against LaMonica MacIver, Rob Menendez, I'm assuming that he's related to the senator, or the former senator now, and Bonnie Watson Coleman. And we ask for that they investigate and consider appropriate disciplinary measures, including expulsion, censure, fines, and referral to law enforcement authorities if some federal law violations are substantiated. As I say in the release, the conduct of these members of Congress not only disrupted a secure federal facility, but also endangered federal law enforcement personnel and detainees, all as part of a political stunt. The House needs to take action to punish this dangerous conduct. So we filed the complaint with the Office of Congressional Ethics. Did we show the complaint? I guess we have a copy of it there. So that's our letterhead. And is it congressional conduct or ethics? I think it should be ethics. I hope we sent it to the right office.
Congressional conduct.
It is congressional conduct. I've been calling it the Office of Congressional Ethics. Here's the kind of key part of the complaint. On May 9th, the members went up and arrived unannounced at the Delaney Hall ICE detention facility, claiming to exercise congressional oversight authority. According to the Department of Homeland Security, as a bus carrying detainees entered the facility's security gate, their representatives, along with a group of protesters, quote, stormed the gate and broke into the detention facility, bypassing security protocols. DHS reported that LaMonica MacIver assaulted a federal ICE officer with body camera footage allegedly showing her barreling unprovoked through law enforcement near the gate. And then you saw at least part of that in the video I just played. The incident also involved the arrest of Newark Mayor Ras Baraka for trespassing, charged after reportedly ignoring warnings to leave the facility's premises. So they dropped those charges since then. Now, the representatives have disputed the DHS's characterization, asserting they were exercising their legal right to to conduct unannounced oversight visits under federal law and denying allegations of assault or improper entry. However, DHS maintains that the lawmakers' actions endangered law enforcement agents and detainees, describing the incident as a bizarre political stunt and noting that a formal tour would have been facilitated had the representatives requested one. So Judicial Watch alleges that the allegations warrant an investigation into whether they engaged in conduct unbecoming a member of Congress, violating the rule that says, and this rule probably could apply to a lot of members in a lot of circumstances, that members, quote, shall behave at all times in a manner that shall reflect credibly on the House. And then there's obviously the potential violation of federal law, assaulting a federal officer, over which Ms. MacIver has been indicted, although I don't think she was arrested, although there's a dispute about that, I understand. And in compare and contrast her treatment with the way the January 6ers were. Now, I don't think everyone should be treated like the January 6ers were since they were abused, but it just highlights just how abusive it was with their arresting and, of course, almost immediate imprisonment for so many of them for conduct quite similar, allegedly, to MacIver. And MacIver obviously thinks she did nothing wrong. I mean, look at this post I posted on Instagram. Her very strange and really insulting reaction.
Congresswoman, you are now facing a federal charge, though. Are you afraid of what's going to transpire now?
You fight on, you fight on, you fight on, you fight on. When your government is doing you wrong, you fight on, oh, you fight on.
Wasn't that strange? So she thinks she's like some civil rights hero. What an insult to the real civil rights heroes and heroines of the day. I mean, she was in there trying to help criminal illegal aliens, and she was endangering their, not only the safety of the law enforcement, but the safety of those who are detained. I mean, the facility is secure, not only to protect personnel who work there, but to protect those who are detained there. And she seemingly broke the law to do so. Now, of course, the media is very angry that Trump did this. The Trump Justice Department did this. I talked to a reporter the other day, and you know, he was apoplectic from a mainstream news publication. Is there anything precedented like this? I said, members of Congress have been arrested all the time. Now, they'll use the usual defenses, a speech or immunity clause. They were acting within their legal authority. But tell it to the jury. Tell it to the jury. On its face, this seemed to be assault. I don't think the Trump administration had any choice but to file charges against MacIver. I really don't. You can't let that pass. And you know, the left's love of violence is I've repeatedly highlighted how dangerous it is. They see violence as a political tool and the threat of violence. And you know, it's not just like an esoteric debate, you know, we shouldn't talk like it leads to violence. This is violent behavior. Now, whether it's a crime or not, you know, let's give her the benefit of the doubt. It's not criminal conduct, but it's violent conduct. There's no doubt it's violent conduct. And this is, you know, it's condoned and ratified, and think of how much energy the left has spent trying to protect those who are promoting violence and terrorism here in the United States. They say there's a First Amendment right to do it. Maybe there is in some context, but foreign nationals who do it have no right to be here, calling for supporting terrorism against Jews in Israel. And here in Washington, D.C., we had this terrible shooting just a few days ago, murder of 2 young Israeli diplomats in the middle of D.C. You know, as a D.C. resident, it's really disturbing to have this act of political terrorism by this radical leftist who is echoing, as he's arrested, all these chants these lunatic leftists are using to intimidate, target Jews, and incite violence. And so now, D.C. is on edge because of this. Our whole city. And you don't think it's disruptive to the city? You're naive. I mean, what if it happened in your town? Of course the town would be nervous about it. D.C. is a small city. In terms of policy and politics and these types of events at which this killing took place, it happens all the time. These events happen all the time. So it affects the nation. And the left has been inciting violence against ICE, encouraging lawlessness to stop the deportation of illegal aliens who are no business being here. And, you know, the Supreme Court is sometimes out of control in this regard, too. It's just unbelievable. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like our video down below.